Well, welcome to the Dad Snark Podcast, everybody. I'm Kyle here, and I didn't have your stuff put in here, Mike.
World-famous author M.C. Norris, otherwise known as Mikey.
And you guys are already enamored, right?
Yeah,
I thought so. So you're probably sitting there thinking to yourselves, or yourself, since it's more than likely just one listener. Thanks, Mom. I wonder if the new episode of my favorite Pokemon Go podcast has dropped. Well, yeah, it probably has, but you need to focus on us right now. It's all about us.
it is.
And here's what we're about. Suburban dadship. Now, see, apparently we're fucking funny. Our wives tell us, our friends tell us, and now you're going to tell us. So don't fight it. Just submit. And we're here to drink a few snobby beers and shoot the shit. So sometimes we're going to have guests, and sometimes we're going to tell stories, because that's what dads do. And we'll always end each episode with a dramatic reading from a Bronze Age comic. That's kind of the shittiest age of comics, really. And I've got a gem for you guys today, and it's really a tribute, actually. So, So let's go ahead and get started. World-renowned author, Mikey.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to add on this pilot episode? Maybe promote something?
Well, there is a bit of shameless promotion in order, because unfortunately we do have to do that. Without promotion, books don't sell. So, swing by my website, www.mcnorrisauthor.com, and I've got 6 books currently in print, 2 coming out later this year, and it's all dark sci-fi, fantasy, odd fiction, that type of stuff, but it's all, the 6 that are out right now are published by Severed Press, and I'm kind of courting a new publisher who's going to be publishing a vampire novel set in the Dust Bowl era. That's coming out later this summer. And an anthology called For Mortal Things Unsung, which what does that mean? But that, I'm actually sharing space with an author that Kyle and I are both, we're both very enamored with.
Yeah.
That's Joe R. Lansdale. And interestingly enough, we both communicated with him recently.
Yeah. Last time I communicated with him, he basically didn't respond, so, But I was at his back door, so really that's my fault. And
Well, the guy is nice enough. He interacts with his fans. He used to on Facebook. But I think he was receiving so much outside stimulation that he shut down his Facebook account. And now you can follow him, but he doesn't necessarily interact. However, I thought, since I'm sharing space with the guy and we're in a table of contents together in a paperback, why not message him,
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Say, hey, I'm out here and I'm honored to be sharing space with you.
Yeah.
And he replied, cool, period. So he was very impressed with me.
Oh my God, yeah. He brought the house down.
I did take a screenshot of that.
Yeah. I did the same thing when I talked to him. That's we're sad.
He'll come back begging later.
Yeah.
Can I do your show, Mike?
Yeah, Mikey, please, Mikey. He's a great author, and actually he has become quite popular lately because he has a show. I'm trying to remember what it was on, but it's Happen Leonard, which is based on a series of books that I personally am pretty crazy about. He has a TV show that's based on that, which is really a great TV show. So it's going into its 2nd season now. So, but that's, when I saw that, Mike, I was, wow, man, that's just too cool, dude.
Super cool.
So, all right, well, we're going to get right into it here. Basically, we're drinking a couple snobby beers. We could probably talk a little bit about that. Mike, what are you drinking over there?
I'm enjoying a Modus Mandarina IPA. And, really, these beers used to be called snobby, but anymore it's becoming the norm.
Yeah, it's mainstream. Yeah, I agree.
What are you enjoying?
I don't know what it is with me, man. But I'm really into European beers, and you know that. This is a Warsteiner Dunkel here. But I really dig German beers, and, I also really, really, really love Belgian ales as well. Mike knows that. I probably drive him crazy.
They know how to do it right.
Yeah. Those monks are they're something else. So, but you kind of had a little deal yesterday. You went to birthday celebration, right?
I did. My dad turned 70. He turned 70 years old today, but we celebrated yesterday, and I was left in charge of how to handle the celebration.
Oh boy.
My mom said, we got to do something significant, but not too big because he doesn't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
And one thing he and I always enjoy doing together is drinking beer. So I thought, why don't we go to downtown KC and hit 7 drinking establishments, well, not just drinking establishments, but breweries and distilleries where it's produced on site. Hit 7 of those to represent his 7 decades of life. So we did a pub crawl, and we pulled it off. We hit 7 of these venues in about 5 hours.
Wow.
So it was quite a day. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I'm rallying for you, man.
Yeah, well, you're coming through, man. I mean, I don't know if I would be here right now if that was me. I can tell you that.
Kyle has wanted to do this for months, and he gets so excited every time we talk about it. And it's like, how can you say no to this guy? Yeah.
I mean, after a while, it's embarrassing, too, because I become erect every time we do discuss it. And,
I've noticed.
Yeah, it just looks funny. But no, I did want to do it. And actually, we're getting ready to do one at work. It's an actual work situation. So that's all the equipment we're using right now, except for my MacBook. But I did want to test it out, and they were totally cool with that. So we'll see what it's like, because I'll be doing one of these on Friday with my boss. So
I'm kind of the guinea pig.
Yeah, you're helping me break it in. So
nice. So
pretty cool. We're drinking. The more we drink, the better it'll get. Everybody hang with us here, but that we're going to have a couple different sections we're talking about, doing some different things. We talked a little bit about what we're drinking, and when we switch beers here, if we switch, we'll tell you guys that.
We may switch to some home brew too after a while.
That's true. Mike does brew his own beer, and it is fantastic. He's got me drunk down in this basement many times.
I don't remember any such thing.
Well, I do. But anyway, he's really good at it, and it's mighty tasty stuff. So we might crack some of that open here pretty soon. I used to do a blog a while ago. Gosh, man, I probably did it a little bit over a year. This was after I wrote for a baseball blog called Slurve, where basically I just ripped on our baseball team here in Kansas City, who has since been to back-to-back World Series and won one.
It's probably because of your blog. They straightened up.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I called David.
That shit stings.
Yeah. yeah, and I'm sure they were all reading. I'm sure David Glass was up at night just,
It's like, God, what the fuck did Kyle say today?
God, that guy, he's just so hard
blowing off on Twitter like Trump.
Yeah.
Well, we said we weren't going to get political.
Oh, yeah.
So
well, we got to get a little political. I mean, come on.
There's enough of that to go on.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the mainstay. The mainstays, we're just talking about shit. But what I used to do is I used to do a blog called Things That Bug the Living Shit Out of Me. And I still think all the posts are up, actually, and I'll link to that, too, in the notes here. Oh, by the way, I did forget to mention this at the top, but we're just going through WordPress right now, but it's dadsnark.wordpress.com. You'll want to check out our site. Eventually, we'll get stuff into iTunes and stuff, but right now, that's what we're working with. So, but I'll have a link in there to that, too. And also, another thing, too, Mike and I are actually working on a book together.
Truth.
Yeah. Bringing the truth. He's kind of going out of order here on what we agreed on, but he's done a little bit more than I am. Big surprise. But he's a pro at it by now, and I'm just kind of learning. But it should be pretty good, and we'll kind of update you guys on that stuff too.
It's a fun project. We'll talk more about that later for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep you updated.
So what I was kind of getting at there with the blog and all that stuff is. As you know, it used to be things that bug the living shit out of me.com or .wordpress.com. So, I used to just talk about things that pissed me off. A lot of times I would put my phone up on the dashboard and just video record myself. Wow, nice word there, Kyle. I used to record myself.
Video record yourself?
I used to video record myself en route.
I was catching myself saying taping. I taped it. I'm like, no one even knows what the fuck tape is
What the
anymore.
fuck is a tape?
What is tape?
Yeah. I mean, really, that's kind of what discs are now, too. So, yeah, let's not get into that conversation. That's fucking hack. But anyway, I used
video
to...
recording.
3, 2, 1. Oh, God damn it, Kyle. Get it straight. Take 3. No, but I used to just put it up on my dashboard and record myself.
That sounds safe.
Just going, oh, thanks a lot, because that's the next part I was getting ready to get to. Thanks,
Okay.
Mike. Yeah, you stepped right into my
I saw the
trap.
segue.
Yeah. You saw me wink at you. No, but yeah, I started getting a little shit from family and stuff. Well, that's really safe driving and recording yourself. And I'm like, I'm not fucking holding it in my hand. It's on the dashboard, and I've got my hands are at 2 and 10. I'm driving better than most people out there, and I'm just shooting the shit, talking to myself. I'm sure I look like a complete moron, more so than usual.
I'm a
But
one hand at 12 noon kind of guy.
yeah, are you really? Well, when your seat's knocked back as far as yours usually is, Mike. I mean, when I see you bumping down the
True.
street.
Yeah, I got a sag.
Yeah, he does. He does. Wears baggy jeans too. But anyway, so what I'm getting at there, is there anything that's bugging you? Anything that's going on right now that's bugging you? Something that gets on your nerves, Mike?
You know, when you emailed me that, when you electronically mailed me that,
Tick.
I couldn't think of anything that was bugging me right now because I've had such a great weekend. The weather's been great. But then I started. What's really bugging me is Booze Traveler, the show.
Booze. Oh, yeah, you told me about
Have
that.
you
Where
watched this?
No, I haven't seen it yet. No, but you told me a little. Go ahead. Yeah, this is good, and I like this.
What's bugging me about Booze Traveler is I really do enjoy the show, and I always watch it. It's along the same lines as
That's on Bravo, right?
Anthony Bourdain, and don't make me think. It's on DVR, man. That's what it's on. I'm video recording it.
Okay. Fuck off. Dick.
We're trying to
That
pass
was
the
good.
bottle
Sorry,
over
we're
between
getting
all the
somewhere.
mics here.
Yeah. Ooh. Mine didn't make nearly the noise.
You know, it used to be kind of embarrassing to have a can crack sound, but now
I like cans, man. You know, I think the beer stays longer.
you don't have to worry about UV contamination.
There's a lot of small breweries that are starting to do cans now. I like it. I dig it. Anyway.
Not to go back to what we were first talking about, but the pub crawl I did,
Oh yeah.
I was just blown away by the turnout at these places downtown. I mean, it was just, every place we went to was fantastic, and they were packed. And it's like I moved up to Kansas City in '99.
Mm-hmm.
The downtown that I discovered when I moved here was a complete. It was just, you could roll a bowling ball down Main Street, and it would go all the way to the river.
99.
At midnight on a Saturday night.
I lived down there then, actually. Yeah.
There's just nothing happening.
No.
And, you know, they put in the Sprint Arena, and at the time, they were trying to look at models of other cities and say, you know, you put in these downtown arenas and all these businesses and venues pop up around them. And I was not in favor of it. I thought, we've already got Kemper Arena, we've got the Arrowhead and Kauffman, and why do we need a downtown arena? And they kept talking about hockey. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, hockey.
But I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, which is almost as amazing
Yeah.
as the results.
You know, you guys heard it here. I don't think I've ever heard Mike say that before, but it's
That was
kind
the time.
of startling.
completely
Yeah.
wrong.
I don't know where we started with that. That's probably gonna happen a
Somehow
lot.
Booze Traveler got us.
Oh yeah, Booze Traveler. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Shit.
Okay, but anyway, I was very impressed with the revitalization of downtown, and for a few minutes, I didn't even know where I was. I mean, Kansas City is cool now.
Yeah.
It's very cool, and the breweries they're adventurous. I mean, they're taking risks. They're not just putting out, you know, your pale ale, IPA, stout,
Oh no.
Pilsner. I mean, they're doing some radical stuff, every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I guess, is what I was most impressed by, because the last time I did a crawl down there, that's kind of what we were running into, is everybody was doing the same stuff. And
Sure.
then somebody would have a Saison, and ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a special edition.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had like a smoked Imperial Pilsner.
Wow.
Had lots of different sours, and I mean, it just goes to show that this craft beer revolution is taking over.
Yeah.
You just don't see. I remember even 10 years ago, if you were drinking a craft beer, you're going to get some sort of comment from somebody saying, "Well, I just drink domestic beer. That's snob beer."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, even at the liquor store, I mean, yesterday when I picked up this sixer here, really, probably 2/3 of the liquor store
Easily.
is craft beers and
Budweiser's
microbrews.
got this little bitty section back.
Budweiser's small. I mean, I have to go over there at Hy-Vee. I have to go back into the cooler to get foreign beers, pretty much, unless it's Heineken or some shit like that everybody knows about. But like, yeah, Budweiser's kind of. It's kind of, sorry.
They deserve this. I mean, they crushed craft brewing for years.
Totally.
Just lawyered them out and scared them out of business. And so they had this coming.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree. So, but yeah, no, it is good. It is a good thing to see, and it gives us a lot of options out there.
It's fun. I mean, why would you want to keep drinking the same horse piss?
So, Booze Traveler. Tell me about Booze Traveler. What you were telling me, because this is great.
So, it's an enjoyable show, and I have to watch it because he travels to these other countries, and what makes it enjoyable is he immerses himself in their culture, and it's not all about just the booze. You learn about the music and the food and what it's like to live there. So you really come away with a sense of what it's like to live as an average Joe in that country. However, when it gets to the most important part of the show, and he's handed a local beer, the guy cannot describe the beer to save his fucking life. And I'm not the kind of beer snob who would ever judge anybody who had trouble describing their beer, because why should you be able to? I mean, you either have a talent for it or you don't.
Right.
But if you're the host of fucking Booze Traveler,
you better bring your A game.
You gotta.
Yeah.
And every time they hand him a beer, he's like, it's hoppy, it's malty, it's refreshing. Every time.
Oh, shit.
Hoppy, malty.
And not every beer is refreshing either, too. That's so funny you say that, because, I worked part-time at a liquor store for, 4.5 years or so. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I know somebody who, and not just in beer and wine, too, describes the same exact things every time. But there's so much more complexity, especially to these microbrews, I think.
I guess Anthony Zimmer kind of does the same thing when he's describing food. He's like, it's nutty, it's minerally.
But he's
it's not what I'd call yummy.
But it's
interesting.
He's eating Brazilian pig nuts when he's saying that. What was that show he had where he had that nasty? Is that all he?
Bizarre Foods.
Oh yeah.
I like that show, but I like Anthony Bourdain a lot more. He's more of the Booze Traveler of the weird foods, where you get into the culture of the places he's visiting. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah. There's more words to beer than hoppy and refreshing.
I mean, if it's an IPA like what I'm drinking, you're going to use the word hoppy.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right. Yeah.
If you're drinking like a Scottish or an Irish ale, it's going to be malty, and then you can kind of describe the malty qualities. But to say it's hoppy and malty, that's describing an Imperial IPA every fucking time, and they're not all double IPAs.
It's nutty. It's
nutty. It's not what I'd call yummy.
Yeah. Good. I don't want to hear you call anything fucking yummy.
You're drinking out of the spittoon, Anthony.
Unless you're sucking on a fucking ring pop, I don't want to hear the word yummy. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
What's bugging you?
That's funny. I was just thinking,
it's really not midgets.
No, dude, they're so cool, man. They don't like being called that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean,
you're getting somewhere there.
No, I mean, I know plenty of people that I grew up with, guys that I went to high school with and stuff. They had parents that were just like, almost like little dwarves, but they weren't little people. They were just small.
And my wife's sister, I think she's 5'1".
Wow, yeah.
So technically, I don't know.
Yeah?
I could get in a lot of trouble there, so.
Yeah, let's let that go right now. Somebody's going to get in
trouble. She's just little. She's not a little person. She's
a wee. What's bugging me? I don't know, man. I guess I can't really I can't put anything specific, but I would say that I'd say one thing that's bugging me right now, and I know we're not going to get political, but I'm kind of tired of it all. You know, I mean, I'm pretty worn out on every side of it, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm tired of the fuck nuts who are, oh, you're just sore losers, you know. And I'm also tired of the people where they're like, I can't believe this is happening, when really what's happening is exactly what we were told was going to happen. But I'm also tired of that shit happening as well. So,
And it's like, I get it. You want to vent.
yeah.
And so people go on social media and they spew, their side of the aisle's mantra.
Right.
But it's like, we all know and we can agree that it's not converting anyone ever.
Right.
In the history of ever,
No.
no one has read someone's Facebook post
said,
and decided, you know what, I'm going to the other side of the aisle. You're exactly right. No.
Gay people are awesome now. I was so wrong. You know, no.
I love guns, whereas I hated them before. No one's crossing over.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Just
think
preaching to the crowd.
yeah, totally.
Or
Totally, yeah. And that's the funny thing is,
choir, not crowd.
And you know this, that I quit Facebook actually because someone within my wife's family, within my family, kind of like got all up in my ass about my political leanings or whatever, because I'd post political shit occasionally, and it turned into a fucking slap fight back and forth. And so I just decided I had to come back. We got it's a long story. I'm not going to get into my work. One reason or another, I had to be hooked up into social networking to see if something worked with our system. And, I do like Facebook. I do like putting pictures of my kids up there. Funny stuff I like putting up there. So
it is fun, and it should be fun. But lately, it's just been
that's what it's
ugly
supposed to
for
be.
the last year and a half.
Right,
it's been nothing but ugliness.
So I'm just staying away from political shit. I may or thumbs up something somebody says, or I may say that's true, or here, or something like that. But I'm just not going to go that way anymore. Just because we
have an advantage over a lot of people, and that's that. You and I,
yeah,
we have a group text with 5 guys in it.
We do.
That goes all day long, buzzing in our pocket. And people, it's a great way to vent things that you shouldn't vent on Facebook.
Yeah.
And thank God for that.
And that
has saved my life
so
many times.
Totally.
Because I can just purge and dump into there
things
that would, get me fired or arrested or excommunicated.
Slapped.
Yeah, and slapped for sure.
Well, it's funny you say that, Mike, because really, isn't that what you were just talking about with Facebook and with social networking in general? Is it seems like people were out there, trying to convince people to think their way or whatever. And really, what's kind of funny is in our chat group, we all kind of lean the same way. Not everybody.
Yeah, there's differences.
Yeah, there's some differences, and that's totally cool. But we can all agree to laugh at our bullshit, and we can all agree when something's serious to really talk about it. I know it's helped me a lot with some things that has gone on in my life in the last year, and it's just a good way to vent that stuff.
Everybody needs that.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally.
Yeah, we encourage you all to go get a group of like-minded friends and use that to vent your political shit. Stay off of Facebook.
Yeah, not with us. We don't really want to talk to you about it, but yeah.
We all know where everyone stands.
Yeah, exactly. I can pretty much look at you and tell. I know, that's a total dick call. I'm sorry about that. All right. Well, here's another thing we're going to try and bring up every time, and these things will just come naturally. We don't have to introduce each one every time, but what are you currently obsessing with? Now, let me start this off by saying that Mike put up a nerd list of things to come over the the next year. It's a great time to be this age and see all the stuff coming, but and by this age I mean fucking cool age. But it's Mike put up a list, and so tell me, what is it that you're really obsessing? What are you really excited right now about, Mike?
Well, those are 2 totally different topics, really. What I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up my nerd list. I mean, obviously today I'm excited about Walking Dead. It's back on tonight,
right? And
we get to see Rick and his crew kick the shit out of Negan and his crew,
right?
At least that's what we're all anticipating.
No, that's not going to happen.
I guess the Netflix the throwback heroes, like you've got Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and now finally Iron Fist.
Right.
And working toward the Defenders. That is so cool to me.
Yeah.
It's everybody else is. We've had Spider-Man done and redone so many times. Batman, Superman, over and over.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are pretty obscure. I mean, with the exception of Daredevil. These are guys that were heroes to me back in the 70s.
Sure.
And would have probably been forgotten by now if it weren't for, especially Luke Cage. I mean,
totally.
He would have been.
Yeah.
And what a great thing to bring these people back. Give them their own series.
Yeah.
If someone would have asked me 5 years ago if Luke Cage would have his own series, which they should have done better, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, they had like 2 sets.
I haven't even seen it, so don't. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So no spoilers, but no.
Well, they have 2 sets.
Yeah, we want to watch it. We
Jessica Jones, have you seen that?
I haven't, and you know what's funny about that is we started to
Dude,
watch
you're
that.
slacking.
We finished Daredevil, and we started to watch Jessica Jones. And the funny thing is that the bad guy in that, the baddie, is a former doctor from Doctor Who, David Tennant.
Oh, really?
He was the 10th Doctor, and he was the favorite Doctor around my Whovian household. I have a 11-year-old boy who was really into Doctor Who a few years ago. Not so much anymore, but that was his favorite Doctor. And I remember distinctly when he changed, looking over, and everybody was crying. So, like, he's an incredible actor, and he looks really great for that role. But I need to watch Jessica Jones. I need to watch Luke Cage, because I want to be ready for Iron Fist, because it looks fucking incredible, man. And Punisher showed up in the 2nd season of Daredevil, and I'm a huge Punisher fan. I love me some Punisher.
It is
for
a
sure.
great time to be a nerd.
And then Mike turned me on. It totally is. And Mike turned me on to DC's version of the Punisher, which is called Vigilante, which is a pretty non-unique name, but it's actually a really good character and it's a great series. And I've read almost all those. Really good shit, though, man. I've never been
back.
Yeah, I've never been a big DC fan, and I think the reason why
I couldn't believe that was DC.
Yeah.
Until I pulled out those old comics, I'm like, holy shit.
Well, they're campy generally. You know, DC can be pretty campy, I think, and I think that's what kind of always turned me off of them.
I would have pegged that for like a Dark Horse or something.
Yeah,
of course.
It does seem Dark Horse. Well,
this
Vertigo.
Is like 86, I think, somewhere in that time frame.
Well, I mean, Vertigo is DC's kind of Dark Horse, right? Have you ever read any comics that are in the Vertigo? It's owned by DC, but it's kind of their darker.
That has nothing
books.
to do with Count Vertigo, I'm assuming.
Oh, no. No. I don't know. Maybe. Shit, I don't know. See, he goes deep, man. I don't go that deep.
See, it's like we're the type of guys who, we can talk comics with the layperson, but
Right.
as soon as I walk in the comic book store, I
Fuck
shut the
no,
fuck up,
yeah.
because those guys will bury you in 10 seconds.
Well, my neighbor, just give him a shout out, and actually, he's one of the reasons we'll be doing these the comic book readings at the end of these shows. Is he is a comic book nut, and I have held
Your neighbor?
Yeah, across the well, we live in a cul-de-sac, but he lives across
Not
the
the
street.
guy who was over that night
No,
where we were drinking moonshine.
No, not Charles.
Okay.
Charles. Oh, sorry, Charles.
It's like he didn't strike me as a
he's not a comic nerd.
comic nerd.
No, I did see him coming in this morning, though. Him and his son were out playing basketball. It was kind of cool. I guess they got up early in practice.
Of course, if you had asked me the day before, does he strike you as a moonshine fan, I would have said no, probably not.
But he was.
He
on
was
it.
that night.
He was on it. We were all on it that night. Woo! That was a rough one. Good thing we
That
didn't
was
have
the
recording.
worst hangover I've had in a couple of years.
Good thing we didn't have recording equipment that night. But
Actually, we did. Remember the next day you were.
oh
selling
yeah,
those-
that's right. The video. yeah.
I was like, I couldn't even understand what the hell you were saying.
I don't know. That was a rough night, man. But it was a blast. I know
That
there was
was
a
a
can.
blast.
There was a can opener championship between myself and Dr.
You know
PP.
what? The first warm weekend we have after
Yeah.
the official day of spring, we need to do something big at one of our houses.
No, totally agree. And the funny thing is Salva with this Winnebago, talking about not this year, but next year going to spring training down in Surprise, Arizona.
You serious?
Yeah, man. Would that not be a fucking road trip and a half or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can just camp out right there in the Winnebago. So,
I'm gonna start looking into breweries in Arizona.
Oh yeah. Well, my aunt lives in Mesa, right down, not too far, about 45 minutes away, I guess. So
We got a Winnebago, man.
yeah, that's true. We'll be like cousin Eddie in front of her house. Shitter's full. Anyway, but no, I mean, I guess that's what's bothering me. That's really, yeah, Kansas, Missouri tags. Are they Kansas tags? I guess, yeah, he went over to Kansas to get it.
He did, so they are. It does have
Kansas tags. Oh,
That's
boy.
awesome.
Winnebago. Wow.
Today.
Okay. So currently obsessing about. So, okay, you were talking about all the Marvel stuff on Netflix, which is pretty fantastic shit.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a nerd.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that man, I don't know. There's so many things, but I would say probably the thing that I'm totally digging the most, and I'm a big tech freak. I love technology, and this Chromebook I got over here that's our clock. You know, the big reason I bought that thing is because it flips over, turns into a tablet, and I can read comics on it. And it's almost the same size as an actual comic as you're flipping through it. You can buy them digitally. So I've subscribed to a few on Comixology, and that's kind of my getaway situation right now. And the funny thing is I bought the newest run of Daredevil, Back in Black, where he's wearing the black outfit with the red shit on it, and I've been reading through that one. It's pretty cool. I can't remember what's that invisible dude's friend. His from Blind Spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit's pretty good, man. That's really well written. I've read the
that was that in the series?
Yeah, it's like from 2015 forward, I think.
I remember that Blind Spot guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a trip, but I kind of like that guy too. So
this is an action selfie.
We did an action shot on our first one. We need it so you can see what we really look like. Unfortunately for you, I mean, Mike's handsome, but
yeah.
Dashing. Yes, dapper, really. Okay, so that's what we're currently obsessing. And other than that, dude, what a great time to be alive as a Star Wars fan.
Oh my god.
You know, Star Wars for me goes back to, I remember, I'm older than Mike by however many years, it doesn't really matter.
A couple few.
Yeah. But I remember distinctly, I used to go with my grandma to the movies every Saturday. She'd take me to a movie. And, you know, we'd look at in the Landing 4 theaters in Leavenworth, Kansas, which I later was a manager of. We would look at the posters outside, and I'd say, I want to go see that movie, Grandma. And I remember pointing at the poster of R2-D2 and C-3PO and saying, I want to go see the robots.
Yes.
And we went and saw Star Wars, and I shit my pants for like 2 straight years, dude. I mean, I went and saw it in the theater at least 20 times over the next year, and it was on for over a year in the theater. I remember that. It was a big deal. They used to,
back then you didn't have movies last that long in the theater, and it was, yeah, for sure.
Well, there was no way to release them at home back then, really, unless they were on radio.
Run and it was over.
Yeah, I mean, HBO was just starting. So they weren't on HBO. So unless it was on regular television for some big movie event, it just didn't exist.
This was even before you could hook up 2 VCRs to each other and record something you'd rented.
There were no VCRs, really. yeah, absolutely.
We were one of the only families that had a beta.
Yeah, I had a beta.
Awesome.
No shit. Yeah, we did. And I remember the first movie we rented, too, was, and it was kind of funny because in Leavenworth, Kansas, we drove over into Missouri, to North Kansas City, Missouri, and went to Metro North Mall, which is abandoned now. Kind of funny. It's been on the news a couple times recently, but they had a store in there, and you could rent movies. And we used to go over there. That's where we bought our VCR. It was a Toshiba, and it was red. The VCR was red, like burgundy red. Had a wired remote control. And
wired remote
yes,
control?
Yeah, you had to plug in a wire, and they had a remote control on it. And my mom got it because she watched All My Children. So the first movie we rented was Psycho 2. The sequel to Psycho.
I didn't know they had a sequel.
Oh, dude, they had like 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them. But Psycho 2 is pretty crazy, and we rented it. I remember that remote control. My buddies would come over. It was summer, and there's a part at the end, spoiler alert, where Norman's mom shows up, and she's sitting at the kitchen table, and he's going to make her some of this poison tea, which she actually gave people. and he hits her over the head with a shovel and kills her. And we rewound that shit and went frame by frame with him hitting, and you could distinctly tell where they put in a dummy and they took the actual person out. It was pretty hilarious, but that was our first VCR. Yeah, we had a Betamax. But yeah, I mean, so anyway, we went and saw the Robot movie, and yeah,
Robot movie 2 was the best.
yeah, no doubt about it. I remember going to school that fall, and the Richie Rich kid in my class, his dad was a judge. He showed up, and he had a fucking R2-D2 action figure. Everybody was gathered around this guy, and I'm like, oh, what the hell is that, you know? And then the next thing I know, man, my number one goal in life was having Star Wars action figures, and that September, I remember I got the Millennium Falcon. It was a big deal. And so Star Wars has always been a big thing for me. So
those figures were so cool until G.I. Joe figures came out and showed them how it was done with the swivel arm.
Articulation. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was all about articulation. And now, the funny thing is, there's more articulation now than there ever was, but they kind of suck. They kind of fall apart. Like, cause, you know, my son has some, but they're just very chintzy. And I'm not saying I want the lightsabers back in the arm with the little slider, you know?
Was so cool. And they always got bent, so you had this like wonky saber.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know, they need to be built a little bit better. And if you want any that are built well, you're going to pay like, I don't know, I got a buddy who collects that stuff, and you pay like $20 for the black label ones, and they're a little bit nicer.
I would have killed for the superhero action figure collection that JJ had.
Yeah.
My son.
Yeah.
It was just incredible. I mean, I was more excited about it than he was, obviously.
Yeah.
But I bought all of them. You know, I had the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Just to be holding the thing in my hand.
Yeah.
Benjamin Grimm. And he could not have given a shit.
That's so funny, man, because, you know, that reminds me. We go to the Comic-Con here in town every year, Planet Comic-Con. And, you know, we've been there plenty. And Christopher, I remember the first year we went down there, my son Christopher, he was really into Legos, and he also loved the Avengers. It had just come out. And he bought all the Avengers in Lego form. And the Hulk one was like extra, like 3 times the size of the other ones. And it was just so badass. And I got to tell you, who knows where the hell those things are now, man. He just treats his toys like shit. This isn't going to be a bitch about Christopher Festival, but it's totally different, dude. My Star Wars figures are like all perfectly in a line, and yeah, I'm not anal retentive, but at the same time, I try to keep my shit nice.
My mom actually saved all my Star Wars shit. We had like the AT-AT and the Millennium Falcon, all these vintage toys that I had taken care of my whole life, and then she took care of them, gave them to him, destroyed in 6 months.
God damn, dude.
Broken. They don't.
Yeah, that breaks your heart. But I am excited to see a new Star Wars movie every year, and
oh yeah, and this last one caught so much shit until it was released, and
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
That was really good. Like, why would you care about that if it's not in the series? I'm like, well, it's pretty damn important.
It's huge. It's very important, and I liked it. I mean, there's some things I didn't like about it, but you know, I'm not going to get too nitpicky on it. But mostly it has to do with using computer animation.
Yeah.
You know,
mostly,
I just didn't really. I mean, the first time I saw Tarkin and they showed him, I was like, oh, I wasn't.
That was incredible. Yeah. The first shot,
and I was like, oh,
kept it that way.
And then after that, the more it went on, I guess I started to accept it later, but it kind of bothered me there for a while.
You gotta be a minimalist with CGI.
Yeah.
Keep it in the shadows. Keep it in the background. Give a glimpse and then take it away. Don't keep shoving it in your face in brightly lit rooms over and over. Just showing off.
I mean, Star Wars is, it's always been a big thing for me. And, you know, the funny thing is before Force Awakens came out a couple years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't know, doesn't matter, a year and a half ago, I tried as hard as I could to get my son into Star Wars. I was just that.
Did it ever take?
No, it never took.
Hasn't really with mine either.
But when we saw Force Awakens, it kind of did. And I remember before Force Awakens, I don't know if you remember this, but they were going to take the prequels. They were going to start with the prequels, and then they were going to go on to the original series, and they were going to convert them all to 3D. Do you remember that?
No.
Well, they released Phantom Menace in 3D in the theaters. And
Yuck.
yeah. And I remember taking Christopher to go see that.
And that's the one they like, isn't it?
And no.
That's the one
And
they like.
I mean, he likes some of it. But I remember sitting there at the beginning of it, and I remember watching it and going,
I feel kind of bad, though, because my son did like it. He did like Phantom Menace.
yeah.
And for me to sit there and say, no, that's not something you should like, that the
No, you
original
can't do
trilogy
that.
has
Right.
merit and value, and these three are crap, that's
Right.
not cool.
No, not at all, man. And if they like it, they like
Even though
it.
I'm fucking right.
Yeah. There's absolutely no doubt you're correct. I mean, really, the only thing I can say about Phantom Menace that's positive, okay, is
I'm all ears.
is probably the lightsaber fights.
Yeah, the Darth Maul deal.
And not just Darth Maul, not just that, but that is huge. But even the shit where they're they're on Naboo, and they come across her Imperial, or not Imperial Guard, but her Queen Amidala's guard or whatever, and they're just like boom, and they just put their swords away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so fucking quick and short about it. I like
about one thing, Master.
I like
the negotiations were short.
Yeah. And there's another thing though too. Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he was great.
Fucking solid. I'm sure Ewan McGregor, when they were making those movies, was just like, oh my God, dude.
I thought Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon was not bad either.
No, he was great. Samuel L. Jackson was just, he was fucking Samuel L. Jackson, but in Star Wars. So, but
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English in what?
oh, shit. I'm thinking of Travolta because I saw him in that OJ show today.
He was in that?
Yeah, he plays Robert Shapiro in it. Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. And then Ross from Friends plays Robert Kardashian. Yeah, crazy as hell. You gotta watch it, man. It's wacky. Anyway, okay, so I took him to see that 3D version of Phantom Menace, and I remember sitting there. I was about 20 minutes in, and I heard enough of what's all that bullshit from Jar Jar, and I sat there and I thought, fuck you, George Lucas. How did you make me pay to see this movie in the theater again? Because I had already seen it. I remember that when it opened, I went and saw it twice that day. And I was convinced that it was, I'm like, yeah, this is all right. This is pretty good. And I went and saw it a few more times. And I had a buddy who was a big Star Wars fan that I worked with at Gomer's when I worked there part-time. And he and I went and saw it. And by the time we saw it, you're going to be like, shit, Kyle, you may not be able to talk to me after I say this, but we saw it 7 times. And I remember the 7th time we were sitting in the theater, and it was only us, and we were sitting there, and our favorite guys were the Trade Federation guys.
Oh, man.
And we would just sit there and go, oh, what is going on down there?
It was so ridiculous.
It was so racist, but I would just laugh.
And then they had the Italian guy, Watto, the flying blue elephant.
You want
to make a deal, eh? Mazza.
Oh, Nubian, huh? Oh, Nubian? Wait, isn't that black? What the fuck is going on? George Lucas, quit it. But
all the earthly races are represented in Aliens across the galaxy.
Well, the dude who played Jar Jar, right? You heard, he's come out.
Oh, he's
kind of come out against
to be a Caribbean guy, right?
Yeah, he's come out against it because there was a black guy who played him, and they wore the funky thing on his head or whatever when they were shooting it, and then later they, you can't tell.
Isn't that interesting that if you take diversity far enough, it becomes racist?
Yeah, no, totally, and I know that's what George Lucas was after, and I understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But he did take it too far, and it was fucking stupid, and it was offensive.
And again, with the CGI, it was overdone.
Oh my God! And if you look at it now, it looks horrifying. If you watch those movies now, it is horrifying. As a matter of fact, we watched before Force Awakens, we watched New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and with the whole family leading up to Force Awakens so that they would be ready for it, and they loved them, man. They loved them. I mean, Audrey, after the first one, she was all over. That's my daughter, Audrey. But she was all over it. She loved it. And she loved Force Awakens. She loved Rey. She loved Finn. She loved, I mean, she liked Kylo Ren. She liked BB-8. I mean, there were a lot of things about it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get about this new series of films that are coming out. I'm not talking about these side movies.
And it's taken its share of shelling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I understand where people are coming from on it, too. However,
I'm a fan.
I love it. I thought it was fun.
I've seen it over and over, and it keeps getting better every time I see it.
Me too. Me too. When I went and saw it, I remember thinking, and I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. I honestly felt like I'm watching Star Wars again. Yeah. I felt like I was watching Star Wars.
They reconnected with the fans in the way that the original series touched us.
Right.
And nothing else before or since had been managed to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that they gained a bunch of new fans too. So anyway, long story short, I'm a big Star Wars freak, and so I'm pretty obsessed about Episode 8 that's coming. I also know that Episode 9, supposedly Princess Leia was supposed to be in it a lot, and they've, of course, not shot any of that, so I'll be curious to see what they do with that. I'm not too excited after what I saw in Rogue One, to be honest with you, but
God, I hope they don't.
Yeah, I hope they don't either. I'd rather them just say, "Oh, yeah, she died in a mysterious spaceship accident on the way to whatever planet something."
There's some terrible jokes in there. Fake looking.
The next section I kind of brought up to Mike that I thought I'd like to, because it's one of my favorite things in life, because I'm totally immature. I'm kind of a man-child. But I love when I meet somebody and I get to know them a little bit, I love to hear a good shit story. I really do. I know it sounds funny. I mean, I've got my shit stories personally, my self-shitting, and I've got stories that people have told me that are some of my favorites. But I'll just start off. Let me just tell one that I think is pretty funny. Okay, so this is right after college. I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And I had always worked in the hood, but they stuck me back in Leavenworth, where I grew up, Leavenworth, Kansas, at a little dealership, and we had a little two-man office.
Were you pushing that insurance package?
Oh,
I mean,
dub.
seriously, if you rent
we called
on a
it
credit
dub.
card,
We called it dub. As a matter of fact, we won a trip down to the Ozarks once, and I was rapping in a bar, and I was fucking, instead of my mind on my money and my money on my mind, I was saying my mind on my dubbage and my dubbage on my mind.
Doing the dub
and
step.
Everybody was fucking, yeah, you know, because we all worked for shitty-ass Enterprise. Sorry, Enterprise. No, okay, no sponsorship from them now, Mike. Sorry, I just burnt that bridge.
Let me cross out
So,
Enterprise
let's see,
on
KKK,
the list of
no,
sponsors.
and
Yeah.
Enterprise,
We're
no.
not
Okay.
getting KKK or
All right.
Enterprise.
So anyway, I worked there, and so had my normal time of the day or whatever. I had my newspaper tucked under my magazine tucked under my arm. And I'm walking through the the repair bay, heading back to the toilets. The only toilets we could go to at this dealership, and so
Wait, is this a shit story?
Yes, it is. It's a good one, too. Just wait. Because it kind of ties in with something else we've already talked about, too. But, so, I'm back in there, and I kind of keep it down. I don't like to make a lot of noise when I'm,
I do. I'm a screamer.
See, I've always been more of a one hole open at a time type of guy.
Right.
And... And so I go back there, and there's already somebody in. And luckily, he's not in the handicap stall, because I would have been pissed, because that's what I'm always after.
Probably shitted too.
Yeah, so I go into the stall there, and I kind of get all nestled down and everything, and he's just like next to me. He's like, just going to town, and I'm like, God damn, all right, man. And I'm, kind of clenching my butt up so I don't make much noise, and it's sick. I got a problem. So, he's...
I wait the other guy out.
He's
It's like, you might think you can wait. I'll wait longer than you. You'll leave.
That's so funny. I do that every time. So I'm sitting there, and then the door kind of comes open. And right when the door comes open to the bathroom, the main door to get into the bathroom, I hear this guy, flush or whatever. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even really hear him use a lot of toilet paper, but okay, whatever. I know, I'm probably paying too much attention. So I'm sitting
You're
there.
clenching and holding.
I know, man. Like, veins are
okay,
sticking
let's
out on
wrap
my
this
forehead.
up.
When he flushes, I'm like, cool, I can let a little go now.
Yeah, let some pressure off with the background noise.
Yeah, it was your flush, obviously. So
It sounded a
anyway,
lot like shitting.
so I'm sitting there, you know, and I hear this other guy come in, and the dude's finishing up in the stall next to me, and then I hear the other guy that had come in, went to the urinal or whatever, and then he goes over and he's like washing his hands, you know. And then the guy in the stall next to me comes out, and he goes, "Hey, man." And the other guy's like, "Oh, yeah, what?" And he goes, "Look at this." And he goes, "Whoa, what happened?" And I'm thinking, what the hell did he just show him, you know? So he goes, "I was trying to wipe my butt and my hand slipped." So then I figured out who it was. It was the special needs guy. They had a special they had a program with the local high school and it was a mentally retarded guy that worked in the shop there, and he had done that. But the whole
It could
time,
happen to anybody.
it probably has happened to everybody. But
And when it does, you have to show whoever walks in.
no,
Say,
no, wrong, Mike. That's
look what
where
happened, Kyle.
you and I differ.
this?
No, bro. That's where we differ on that one. I mean, I would stick my hand down the toilet running and flush it over and over again.
Sometimes you get to wiping boisterously and you're
using too much.
wad
You're
falls.
doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Okay. So, but I just imagine, what the hell did he show that guy? You know, just like a big claw full of shit. I mean, oh my God, dude. Anyway, so that's my shit story. That was kind of the first one to get it going. But
That's horrible.
I don't know if you have one, or if you have one about somebody else, someone's told you, or
Well, I've got, we've all got shit stories. I guess the one that comes to mind, though, involves myself. And you're all hoping, yeah, this is the one where Mike shits his pants. No, not really. It was close, but... So I was working for my uncle. Great guy, very patient. And it was a office interiors company where we would, go install cubicles and desks and credenzas and chairs and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was during high school. I'd work for him in summers, and great uncle. So I'm working for him, and I worked in the warehouse. So I was the guy who would load everything up into the delivery trucks and take it out there and do the install. And he was the bookkeeper, so he worked in a separate building across the alley, where all the salespeople and the president, they all had their offices and everything. And I was sort of out there like a satellite,
Mm-hmm.
doing my own thing in this warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get a call on the old phone, it'd let me know what to load up and where to take it. And I'd go install it. But there was a lot of downtime. Because I remember a lot of summers you just spend hours with not a lot to do. And so you would try to invent stuff to do. And you'd reorganize and consolidate and sweep and clean. And just the warehouse looked great by the end of each summer.
Sure.
Then I'd go back to school and they would trash it again, and I'd come back and I'd have to redo everything, clean it back up. So one afternoon I'm sitting in the warehouse, and I should note at this point that there was no restroom in the warehouse. If you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go down the alley to their building and use the office facility. So I'm sitting in the warehouse, and I think whatever I had for lunch was not agreeing with me. And I feel that feeling where the bottom drops out.
Squirtles.
And it's like suddenly you just feel like a gallon of yogurt just drop from your chest down to your midsection. And then the cold sweat follows, and you're like, uh-oh, I didn't expect this, but now something is very wrong. And so I stopped doing whatever I was doing, ran outside, ran down the alley, went in through the back door, went down the hall, into the restroom, and it was a one-stall situation. And I see these two shoes and the brown slacks curled around the ankles of a guy I knew to be one of the salespeople. think his name was Steve Brown, ironically. I think. I don't remember, but anyway, he's sitting in there just stinking the place up, and I can hear newspaper rustling, so I'm like, all right, fucking
It's gonna be
great.
a while.
So I clench up, and I go back to the warehouse, and I go back to my sweeping or whatever. And then, the second drop happens. Boom, boom. And now the sweat really starts to pour, and suddenly it's DEFCON 1. It's like I've got to get into that restroom,
Right.
so I run down the alley again, go back in there. That son of a bitch is still sitting on the toilet.
Oh my God!
Still rustling the newspaper, just wasting everyone's time.
And this is before Angry Birds, so he's not even playing
He
Angry
wasn't
Birds.
playing on his
It's
phone.
fucking bullshit.
Phones were connected to the wall at that point.
Right.
So all sorts of crazy ideas start going through my head because I have to shit. It has to happen in the next 5 minutes, and it's happening. And so it's one idea I had was I'm sitting here in this alley, panic mode, with sweat pouring down my face. I'm like, I could crawl into the trash dumpster and go in there.
Dude.
But then the smarter part of me says, Mike, no. As soon as you drop trowel and start going, one of the cute sales girls is going to come out to throw something away and find you shitting in the trash dumpster. And then you have to leave planet Earth. So I start thinking of more strategic ideas. I'm like, okay, I could take the van because I have the keys to the van, and I could drive it a block away. And I could shit on maybe a piece of cardboard or something in the back of the van, and then sling it out the back of the door into the alley and take off again. So that's idea number 2. Pun there. And then I start thinking, no, because what if someone comes up and I can't stop? What if it's a real bad situation where I'm hung up there for like 5 minutes shitting in the van? So I run out of ideas, and now I'm in complete panic mode. It's like, I just have to find a fucking corner somewhere, and it's going to happen. So I go into the warehouse, and I'm running around panic-stricken. And they had one room at the front of the old warehouse that used to be like a foyer. So it's like this small frontage space, and they boarded it up, and they nailed the door shut. But you could climb over the top of the wall and drop down through the rotted ceiling into this foyer area.
Fucking Mission Impossible,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Like Tom Cruise on the water lowering down. And so I'm like, that's it. No one could ever could go in there. And I'm completely safe.
Pardon.
So I climb up these chairs and tables and stuff and kick my way through the rotten ceiling, fall down into the foyer, do my business. And man, what a relief. And so then I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Right.
Because, I had stuff to climb up on to get over
Right.
the wall on the way in. So I had to get technical to get out of there. And it was horrendous, the smell
Parkour.
in that little
parkour.
area. And so as soon as I climb out, I'm thinking, God, I wonder if they're going to be able to smell this because, the ceiling's kicked in now. And as I'm thinking all these thoughts and like, how am I going to mask the odor? I hear the warehouse phone ringing, which means I have, something on my plate. And so I go running for the warehouse phone. I pick it up, and it's my uncle. And he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. And he goes, well, true story. He says, well, I've got some really important clients coming over, so if you're naked, put your clothes back on.
Oh my God. Dude.
I was like, kerswish. So what I ended up doing was grabbing lemon furniture polish and running around like a madman, spraying it in the air. Because that's what I had to work with. And Uncle Jeff, if you're listening, sorry about that, but that happened.
Sorry.
Steve Brown, it's all his fault.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not even going to ask any questions about that because this is so fun.
Do you have any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
What is it? Did the shit just stay down there?
Yeah, forever and ever. It's still there as far as I know. Mummified MC Norris, world famous author shit.
It's horrible. Really funny. Dude, that is great. That is great. Okay. Woo. Oh my God. Well, there's going to be more good shit stories to come. I guess the next thing, so we call that segment Funny Shit. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good name for it. We talked earlier a little bit about how we are working on a novel together, and you know, Mike's definitely further along than I am. I've written like one chapter pretty much, and you know, I got all these great ideas for some more. But the thing is about writing that I'm finding out is that you actually have to sit down and do it. There's really no way out of that part.
It's amazing what happens when you do, too.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it is. And even in that first chapter, you know, once I really got going on it, it just seemed to just kind of come right out of me, you know. But I don't know. Well, there's been a lot of other stuff going on too, you know. But wham wham boo hoo. I need to get to work on the next chapter. So I think it's going to be a good story. I think that it's got appeal to a lot of different people too, more than people may think. But so I'm excited about it. I just got to get my ass in gear.
Kyle and I met through Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Our sons were in it together. And at some point we started well, there was one particular guy in the scout troop who took it very seriously. He took the Pinewood Derby where you put your cars together and the kids race them. It's no secret that it's pretty much a dad race because the dads are building the cars, the dads are engineering them, and so there's a lot of dad competition going on there. But this guy won every freaking year.
Every year.
And so he'd win the adult race, and his kid would win the kid race.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking one night after a few beers, like, you know, somebody needs to sabotage him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got the whole ball rolling on this book idea is what if there were these two nerdy scout dads who one would win the competition every year, so the other one starts devising ways to sabotage him.
Right.
And he's normally a good guy, an all-American dad, but he's going to compromise his own morals to sabotage someone because he wants his kid to win this race for whatever reason.
Right.
And that's how it all began, and since then it's sort of taken on its own life.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the general idea behind it is you know, there's lots of different types of people involved in scouts, and you know, as far as the dads go, and there's the dads that don't fucking give a fuck. And,
plenty of them.
And there's more of those than anything. There's the dads who give a moderate fuck, and then there's the dads who really probably need to go get some help because they care too much, you know. And there's nothing wrong with caring too much about your kids and stuff, but I mean that's not
when
really.
It becomes all about you.
Yeah, when it's about you and you know,
Look how much of an uber nerd I am.
Yeah, when I'm working at the Christmas tree lot with you and you're talking to me about, you know, what altitude your thermal shirt is rated at, then fuck you, man. You got a problem. I don't give a shit, you know. And that's the guy we're talking about. And you know, nothing. I'm sure he's a good guy and all that stuff. But the thing is that
he inspired a lot of creativity.
He did. And if nothing else, we owe him that. But I think we got a pretty good story. I think we got some good ideas. You know, originally what we had talked about, I think along the lines of the film Election.
Yes.
If you haven't ever seen that, it's a really great movie with
dark comedy.
Matthew Broderick and
Reese
Witherspoon. Really great type of situation.
Dark family comedy.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to be a little bit something like that. But that's kind of what we're looking at.
It's definitely waxing darker than I'd originally anticipated.
Yeah.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I tend to bring that shit too. Okay, so now the last thing we're going to do in every episode that we're going to shoot for, unless you got something else. Anything else? Okay.
We got to do the thing.
Yeah, we got one more thing left, and we're going to, at the end of every podcast, do a dramatic reading of a Bronze Age comic, and in honor this week of Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica fame passing away, I have brought the original Marvel Super Special Treasury Edition of Battlestar Galactica the official adaptation of the television sensation, is what it says on there. Yeah, in full Marvel color.
Television sensation.
So we're going to do a dramatic reading of that. So give us a couple seconds to get adjusted here, and we'll.
This is one of those big comics. You
Yes.
know, it's like 18 inches by 12 inches. The great big fucking comic.
It's like a coloring book, but it's a comic, right?
I used to have so many of those, and I loved every
I know.
one of them.
These were the best, man. My Star Wars ones were like this. You know, there were a bunch out at that time, and I always liked.
Didn't you say you had Jaws?
Jaws 2. It was a Marvel Super Special, and that was more magazine size. That was more like the size of a Time or something like that. And I had Close Encounters also. I had Xanadu.
You know the one I would love to have?
What?
Do you remember the Muhammad Ali versus Superman?
Yes, that was one of these.
Like, what kind of a fucking fight would that be?
That was...
How
Dude,
bad is
you know
that
how
man?
much that comic
He's
is?
a bad man.
That comic book is worth
bad.
a lot. And there's another one, too, that's in that series where it's Superman versus the Hulk, maybe?
Huh. So they did some crossover.
Yeah, they did a little bit of crossover back then. And that was a Marvel book, but yeah, it had Superman versus the Hulk in it. But yeah, that's Muhammad Ali. As a matter of fact, at the comic shows, man, that's one that somebody always has out in front. And that thing's worth a lot of money, which is... My son always asks me, well, you know, who's the strongest superhero? And I'm always like, it's Superman, dude. I mean,
have you read that comic? Who wins?
What? Oh, Muhammad Ali and Superman?
Yeah.
Oh, he puts up a good fight, but it's Superman, dude.
That's dick.
Well, come on, man. Are you fucking Muhammad Ali is going to beat Superman?
Well, if I were the writer, I would have, like, Lex Luthor in the audience. And he does, like, a spitball thing with kryptonite right into his fucking ear. And have Muhammad Ali win.
Boy, yeah. Here we got another guy here that's got Superman issues.
He's too much.
It's like daddy issues, but Superman.
Too much.
So we're going to adjust our mics here. We're going to get into this Battlestar Galactica reading, and I think you guys will like it. So hang tight a second.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
There. I see it. A colonial viper. We can allow the pilot to warn the humans. Not now.
Zach, hit your turbos, kid. Let's get out of here.
Apollo! For a harmless tanker, it seems to me you're wasting an awful lot of unnecessary fuel.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Zap, zap. Apollo! They hit my port engine. Giving them our backside for target practice. Ooh, that sounds kinky.
Good point, little brother. When I count to 3, hit your reverse thrusters and maximum braking flaps.
In other words, back that ass up.
We'll give them a little surprise. 1, 2, 3.
Do not let the human scum escape. The colonial fleet must not be alerted to our presence here until we are ready to strike.
But as the alien vessels close in for the kill,
The hunters suddenly find themselves the hunt.
good work, little brother.
Nothing to it, big brother. Raiders, what these slugs can outfight us? Oh, it's about a 10-1 margin.
You know it, Zach. Now, go after the guy on the right.
I'll take this one.
Right here, you creepy, crawly creature. Yahoo! Got it.
Come on, Zach, before they bring up reinforcements.
The fleet's flying smack dab into a death trap. And we've got to warn them before it's
fucking suck.
too late.
Right behind you, Apollo, but my engines just about had it.
Meanwhile, as Commander Adama and Athena arrive back at the Galactica,
Colonel Tig,
What's going on here? Why is the ship on alert?
our patrol is under attack, Commander, and we're not sure by whom. Communications are being deliberately jammed. But I, the President, on Monitor 4,
They must insist upon our strength, sir.
turns out to be an encounter with some outlaw traffic.
We could jeopardize the entire cause of peace by displaying fighters when we are so close to a rendezvous. Quite right, Baltar. The fleet will not launch any ships until the situation is clearer.
Next time you are with my son, ask him to spell rendezvous.
Yeah, it
See
kind
if
of
you
fucked
can
me
do
up
it.
because they did it in 2 lines there. So, all right, let's go ahead. All right, so really that is it. The first episode's in the can. I don't know an exact schedule yet for releases. We're still trying to figure that all out. I know monthly isn't enough, or maybe it's too much in this case, who knows. But we do have kids and stuff too. So stay tuned. Be sure and check out our site, dadsnark.wordpress.com. Mike, is there anything else you got to say?
You better stop by that website, mcnorrisauthor.com.
There you go. And by the way, get the fuck off our lawn.
That's right.
Wow.